Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I am going to be continuing with my reactions to Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Currently we are on Season 2, Episode 7A, Always Be Brownies. Before we get into it though, I want to talk a little bit about this final stretch of episodes of the Rise of the TMNT, because we are very much getting close to the end of this series. And I feel like at this point, as it is the case for whenever I'm getting close to the finish of any show really, I'm kind of maybe a little bit too eager to get to the end. And I might start to kind of rush getting through so many of these episodes and not necessarily like focus on enjoying them and just experiencing them as they are, and instead would be too focused to getting to the end. So I just want to say that I'm sorry if I'm not necessarily like as into these episodes as I probably should be. I'm saying this just in case. I'm still going to try to enjoy them and everything, but I just want to let you guys know about how I feel right now, because I'm just really eager to get to the end of this series, because we're too close, and usually I rush when I'm close to finishing something, whatever it may be, not just reactions, but also because I'm really excited to get into the movie as well, because I've heard a lot of good things about Rise of the TMNT movie, and with the kind of animation that this show has, having a movie, which is hopefully going to be higher budgeted, I'm really hyped to see what that's going to be about. I'm really hyped about that. But there's also the fact that once we are done with Rise of the TMNT, I will be checking out the next mutation, the live-action TMNT series from the 90s, I believe it was. I'm gonna be doing that because it's practically gonna be the only piece of TMNT audio-visual content that I haven't reacted to at that point, so it's just gonna feel wrong not to do that as well. But I'm just eager to be done with this show so we can do that show, focus on finishing off 1987 of TMNT, and then finally, once we're done with all of that, do a re-reaction to the 2003 series. I think I've mentioned it before that I do plan on doing a re-reaction, but if you guys haven't heard me say that, yes, you heard me right. I will be doing a re-reaction to the 2003 series because I've reacted to it before, and currently it's the lowest quality reactions that I have on my channel, and it just feels wrong for my favorite incarnation of TMNT to have the lowest quality reactions. So I'm really excited for that. Plus, I feel like I'm going to have a new perspective on the show, having seen all of these other incarnations of TMNT, but I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. Getting back to Rise of the TMNT, I mean, there's not really much to say. I'm hoping that I'm going to be enjoying this episode. The title is not really giving me much to go off of and much to expect, really. But as usual, I'm hoping to have a good time. That's pretty much what I'm asking for when it comes to this show. Just give me a couple of really funny jokes, some cool animation moments, and we're fine. You know? That's all I want. That's all I ask when it comes to this show. But yeah, I just want some more plot stuff before we get to the final episodes, because I think that's one thing that kind of kept me more entertained in when it came to like the filler episodes in season 1 as we were getting towards the end of that season. Because even in a filler episode, we could still have moments where the characters were like gathering pieces of the dark armor, so there was still an ongoing thread of story in those episodes, whereas in season 2 I feel like we haven't really had that, and it has felt a little bit more disconnected and not as quite as entertaining because of that. Even if the quality in some ways has definitely gotten better, I just feel like I feel that disconnect in this season, and that might be a reason why I feel like I haven't quite enjoyed the episode as much. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we should just get into this episode and see how much I'm going to enjoy it. But before we do, as usual, I do want to remind you that I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me out with my transition by donating to my Patreon or Ko-fi account. Because for those of you who didn't know, I am trans. And by doing so, you also get access to the full-length version of this reaction, as well as always the reactions that I do on the channel, which includes cartoons, short live-action TV series, long live-action TV series, anime series, and movie full-length reactions. Alternatively, you can also just stick with the YouTube version of this reaction and simply like the video, but it is greatly appreciated if you do make the extra step of supporting me. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, without further ado, let's get into Season 2, Episode 7A, Always Be Brownies, in 3, 2, 1.
Buy a cookie and help me save trees. Without trees, there'd be no air. Without air, there'd be no us. Think of the trees, people! Huh?
Hashtag Team Trees.
Try Grandma CJ's brownies and you'll see just how good a brownie can be. Way better than a cookie.
This is gonna be an April-focused episode. I've honestly really grown to love this version of April compared to when we first started.
That was just Tuesday.
She's actually pretty chill and kind of a cool person to hang out with. I actually really like her. I definitely find her more of a fun person compared to the 2012 one, you know? I like what the 2012 series did with April, probably more than what most people did, but I do find this version of April kind of more entertaining, so there's that.
Follow my plan, and you can karate chop any obstacle between you and your goals into splinters. What? This is the best part.
Couldn't you just give her this information without watching this thing?
Whole situation. Okay, you can do this, O'Neill.
Does she have a choker that I haven't noticed before?
You can do this, O'Neill.
Does she have a choker that I haven't noticed before?
The outdoors, the breathing of air. Buy this cookie, or there won't be any more air. Or cookies, or us, because trees!
Sit back and watch how it's done. Remember this smell? Piping hot chocolate chip cookies, like Mom used to make.
Okay, he's pretty good at selling that shit.
Back to times.
I actually want to buy these cookies now.
Kiss my boo-boos, to read me stories, to tuck me in at night.
Aww.
Now who wants to buy some love?
Shut up and take my money. You know, I'm starting to feel like these people are just kind of racist.
Julia, Grandma CJ wants to see you.
The hell is this place?
No sales are down, but you gotta believe me, it's not my fault. There's this new, super cool, hairy, teen and skinny jeans slinging cookies like rocks. Cookies? The peasants of dessert are beating my brownies? This will not stand.
Oh my god, I'm such a moron! CJ! CJ! CJ!
Bring them to me. These fashion-forward punks are either going to work.
I was wondering who it was going to be the villain.
80, 90, 95, 110,
They haven't said who she is. We've already talked about it. They haven't, but this is the closest so far we've gotten to them actually saying who it is.
To wipe the cookie off his face.
Okay.
I'm still not okay with that. With that though, like, I'm not against a female Casey. I am just against this female Casey.
April, you're not a failure.
Especially because she just looks like Karai. I'm sorry.
Girls, could you give us a minute? I was just ramping up to a life-changing...
I always felt that Girl Scouts were weird, but this pretty much proves my prejudice.
Fitzgerald. Where am I? What am I doing here? Grandma CJ wants to see you. Apparently, she wants to recruit you. Why would she want me when she's got you guys? You're amazing. Yes, we are. Do not lie to me, Lujitsu! I know you're here to stop my world takeover.
World takeover?
Yes!
As Grandma CJ?
Brownies are the key.
I mean, that is the smarter way to conquer the world. Just build out a big corporation, become rich and conquer the world like that. Haven't we learned anything from fucking Bezos and the emerald mine slave-owning Musk? That's how you conquer the world.
10 years? Yes.
Damn! Oh, Jesus.
You know, those Foot Clan guys, they never really treated we were doing cool stuff, you know, like trying to race the shredder. I'm a failure.
Just
You're not a
because you
failure,
failed
CJ.
doesn't make you a failure. You're focusing only on the negative and not the positive.
What do you mean?
Let me tell you about a girl I know. She also thinks she's a failure. She's incredibly tenacious and capable.
Damn, when did she become such a badass? Oh!
But that never stops her from trying.
Oh, that's sick. I know what's gonna be the thumbnail.
Next, I hate to beat up an old lady. I'm 16. Exactly.
And this show continues to be honestly really fucking good.
And again,
The action is amazing.
and again. But despite her many failures,
I just wish this show was like taking itself a little bit more seriously. Like this, with the tone of the 2003 series, would be fucking amazing. Look at this action, like how creative it is, the movements.
you both
This is so fun. Damn, I didn't know she was this much of a badass.
French braid all of us together? Amazing!
Yeah, it is.
Maybe brownies are not your key.
Also, I want to say this scene between Splinter and not Karai
with brownies.
is really sweet, knowing what was the story in the 2012 series.
Thank you so much. You're such a great listener. From this day forward,
You're going to start being a good person?
nobody will stand in my way to world domination!
Wrong lesson, wrong lesson.
Wrong lesson.
You've taken out my entire brownie clan. Impressive.
They were children.
Make me.
Everyone calm down. I'm sure we can all find a way to get along.
Enough! Talk's cheap.
I couldn't agree more.
See how much you have in common?
You're my enemy.
Need I say more? Aye.
Give me back my money and the rat.
How about I let him go, but I keep the money?
Really?
Fine.
Oh,
Looks like another typical April O'Neil failure.
April, you are not.
Although, I did rescue you.
Yes, we
And I did take out a troop of lethal little girls.
see.
Yup, in a very badass manner.
With a walnut. A walnut.
Oh, look at you.
Wait, what? What is that? What? Hell of a fucking cliffhanger to leave me on, are you kidding me? I mean, I like it because it kind of makes me excited to continue watching, but are you serious? Also, again, I love the subtle hints telling us that this is Casey, even though it's not Casey. I'm gonna die on this spot, but this is not Casey. I've grown to love April, despite the fact that I would still prefer if she was just a different character, even if she was just filling that spot. I just prefer for writers to create new characters with whether it be with like different genders or different skin color or different ethnicity. If you wanna have a kind of like representation and characters like that, I'm okay with that. It's stupid to be against that. It's bigoted to be against that. But I still want it to be done in a way where you're not erasing the already existing characters. Because I just, not only does that create unnecessary like fights between people, it's just much easier for people to accept those kind of changes. It's much easier to accept a new character who fills the spot of April but is not April than it is to accept a black April. And yeah, the mature person should still be able to accept that, just like how I've accepted that, because she's actually an enjoyable character, you know? But I still feel like it's far easier for everybody if you just create a new character, because it doesn't have any of the baggage, and it doesn't have any of the preconceived notions that people might have about what that character should be. So even though I've grown to love April in this version, her personality definitely being probably the most interesting one of any April we've gotten, I'm not gonna lie. Um, I'm not I'm not okay with what they've done with female Casey. Because like this is just not Casey. I've ranted about this before, so I'm gonna try to keep it as short as I can, but I'm not okay with this, not because it's female Casey. I think that could have been done really cool if you just had a really entertaining, tomboyish female character who was Casey. And hell, it would have been really cool to even see that kind of LGBT relationship between April and female Casey. That would have been cool. I would have liked to see that. Because you always have April and Casey be together in each incarnation, you know? Well, maybe not in the 1987 series, but I haven't gotten that far. So who knows? But yeah, it's just the fact that they haven't done female Casey how I would like them to do female Casey. Plus, it just looks and fills the spot of basically what Karai is. That's what I think most bothers me about it. It's just Karai. Why wouldn't you call it Karai? And if you think that this is I'm just bothered about it because of the gender, I was still bothered about this shit even in the 2012 series when it came to a completely different character filling a completely different spot from what they were in the previous incarnation. And here are spoilers for 2003 and the 2012 series, but there's the character of Bishop in the 2003 series, who I'm a big fan of, and he was in the 2012 series as well. But what he was in the 2012 series was completely different from what he was in the 2003 series. He was practically the opposite in many ways. Because in the 2003 series, he was an alien-hating super agent, whereas in the 2012 series, he was an alien. He was one of the Utroms or the Krang or whatever you want to call them. And the same kind of complaint I had there, because in the 2003 series, we have a character who fills that exact spot of being the leader or the messenger or whatever you want to call it of the Utroms in the form of Mr. Mortu. So why didn't they just do Mortu in the 2012 series? Well, it's because Bishop is a far more popular character than Mortu, so there's that. But yeah, that's basically the same complaint. I'm just bothered because there's already a character that this character looks like and fits the position of that they could have just done, but they just decided to kind of do a mishmash. And it's just annoying, you know? That's what you avoid if you just create new characters with different names. You lose all of that baggage and all of the issues people might have about them because it's a new character. They don't have any strings on them, you know? But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. I gotta say, for kind of a filler, nothing episode, I definitely enjoyed the action of this one. Like, it was really fun seeing April be this much of a badass, because as much as I love the 2012 April and how her powers and skills developed over the course of the series, to the point of starting off as a girl who couldn't, like, stand up to absolutely anybody, then being able to stand up to the fucking Shredder in his mutated form, that was kind of wild to watch. I feel like she never quite managed to portray her skills consistently in that regard. Like, I feel like especially later on she relied far more on her telekinesis than anything. Whereas this April here just moves just like the Turtles. Like, she's fast and does the ninja moves and everything just like the Turtles. And that's kind of more satisfying, especially with the choreography that we have here. And especially because I enjoy animated fights who are like hand-drawn like this far more than the computer-generated ones in the 2012 series. I know that creators put a lot of effort in both, but I'm just more of a fan of hand-drawn stuff, and I feel the impact of fights in hand-drawn stuff far more, and it just feels far more satisfying than in CGI. You can still do some really satisfying fights in CGI, like we see later on in the 2012 series, but hand-drawn stuff like this, it just tickles me in the best way possible. I love it. So yeah, the action was really cool in this episode. Some of the banter was really fun between the Girl Scouts and April. And I really love the talk between not Karai and Splinter, like I said, because of that relationship that they had in the 2012 series. So that was pretty nice. So in terms of a rating, I'm honestly kind of going to give it a, I guess, 8.7 out of 10. This might be a little bit high because, again, I don't really care about this episode too much because it was a filler nothing episode which didn't even feature the turtles. But for what it is, it was really surprisingly entertaining. I did not expect to enjoy the fight scene as much as I did, so there's that. And yeah, I am curious though, what do you guys think about this episode? So comment your thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 4 patrons on Patreon: Omar Bridgman, Deadpool, Corvidet, and Andrew. Thank you guys for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me, you have continued to support me for such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. Another thing that I also want to tell you guys before we end this video is something about me that some of you may or may not already know. That will also explain why do I look and dress the way that I do in my videos. That thing being the fact that I am trans. In particular, I am somewhere between a non-binary person and a trans woman, though I am unsure at the moment and probably won't be sure until I talk to a professional who deals with trans people. But that is where the reason why I'm telling you all this comes. I need your help. Due to the fact that I live in a homophobic and transphobic Eastern European country with a family that won't really ever accept the fact that I'm trans if they ever found out, it's not really feasible or easy for me to transition here with minimal to no repercussions. So that's why I would really appreciate any kind or any amount of support that you guys can give me with this. That said, I don't want to guilt trip you or anything. I don't want you to feel like you have to help me. So if you don't want to or you don't have the means to help out, that's okay. Don't feel bad. I just want you to know that it would be greatly appreciated if you did help me get out of this situation. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask me, and thank you for hearing me out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do any of that, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!